how like the drum could no longer be sounded, because I feel like it's probably a metaphor for something that's been lost in our culture or in traditions throughout time.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Because after that sentence that you pointed out, the drum no longer could be sounded. The follow-up sentence, the people drifted apart, lost contact with each other, became powerless, aimless. Right? Very interesting. Um, it was said that the drum was hidden away in the mountain. Right? So let's go back to the Battle of Kuomo'o. You guys are like, oh my gosh, right? Let's link that to the Battle of Kuomo'o, which is really interesting, right? Um, talk about things being hidden away, right? Paella passes away in 1819. Immediately following that, anytime a powerful leader is no longer in power, chaos happens because people are jockeying for position, right? It happens in schools. It happens in anywhere you are. Like once a new boss comes in, people are like, okay, how do I get my leg up so I can like, get into position so that I can ask for the days off that I need? Not just joking. I mean, yeah, it is kind of like that, right? But it's kind of like even teachers, right? You get a new teacher come in, you're like, okay, how do I get to the position I need to get in order to do well, right? I don't know if you guys think about that, but it happens. Okay, so when we look at this, right, in 1820, what happens? The Battle of Kuomo'o, right? We have outside interactions, outside influences come in, right? People hide their things in order for it to survive. Very interesting idea, right? You hide things so that it survives later. Like what? I feel like it was like a movie. Like you hide things. You know what? That's my 10th grade. If you guys are in my 10th grade class next year, you're going to read a couple stories that are like, what? Anyway, so what happens, right? So there's this thing called diaspora. Diaspora is this thing that has happened where there's a number of causes. People move away from their homeland because of economic hardships, maybe loss of land, more opportunities elsewhere. So they leave to go, for example, to live in Las Vegas. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's called diaspora. It's a very interesting word. Maybe, I think that's how you spell it. Yeah, it's a dispersion of any people from their original homeland. Very interesting. Okay, so I gave you the term over there. You can write it down. Okay, but in the Seekers, Herb Kane talks about that. How people get cut off from their homeland and from the heart of the drum because they move away, right? For whatever reason. Do we have relatives that have moved away? Heck yeah. Do we have good friends that move away? Heck yeah. I had like two really good friends. One went to Idaho and one went to Utah. I was like, wow, you guys are really leaving? And they really left. They sold their houses and left. Why? It's cheaper to live in the mainland, right? Kind of sad. So what happens? Right? So what happens? Oh my gosh, right? There are all the people that were from like Hawaii, they're scattered now all over the place, right? So like when you watch NFL football games and you're like, hey, that guy has a Hawaiian last name or he has a Hawaiian first name. You're like, where did he go to school? You look him up, Texas, right? I mean, like, it's just really interesting. We're all over the place and it's super cool, right? And we're all kind of kicking butt in our own ways. So Something to think about. You learned yourself a new word today, diaspora. Very cool word. It's something that you should look into, especially if you're talking about the impacts of tourism or population. I think in Miss Kumuglenen's class, some of you guys talked about the impacts of population growth. Okay, so something to add to your report. Okay, I know we're taking a long time from this, but that's okay. We're fine. Okay, who's reading this next paragraph? When the sisters asked, was that you, Lele, or McKenna? Okay.
So when the sisters asked why they were searching, the old man replied, the people who do not search for what they have lost will become a lost people. There will be many other searchers, he predicted. Polynesians are moving about as never before. In just the last few years, he has seen people from New Zealand and the Cook Islands, from Easter Island, from the Marquesas, from Tonga and Samoa. The Hawaiians come in Hokulea, and now many Hawaiians are visiting the South Pacific, and growing numbers of South Pacific Polynesians are visiting Hawaii. And someone is building a canoe in Tahiti that they will sail to New Zealand. All are searching.
Okay, go ahead. See something that you can highlight. What could you add into your research paper from this? Okay. Anybody want to offer up their highlight? Malie, go ahead. There's this look you give the camera where I know it's like, oh, Malia wants to share. You like do a. I just exaggerated that, by the way. It's kind of like, but it for me, it looks like this. Okay, go.
I highlighted when the sisters asked why they were searching. The old man replied that people who do not search for what they have lost will become a lost people.
Mm-hmm. So why did you choose that?
Because I'm not too sure why I chose it. It's just like it kind of spoke to me in a way where it was like educational. I don't know.
Yeah, or like a sense of kuleana, right? A sense of like you have to awamo this kuleana, right? You have to hold this. What happens if somebody else knows your history before you? Is that weird? Right? I mean, one of my sisters brought home one of her like really good friends from college, and he was so jazzed up about coming to Hawaii. He started reading all of these like books about Hawaii, the Shawls of Time, all these really outdated kind of like almost offensive like Hawaiian history books that are published, that are out there that people keep reading. And he was like, oh, I read this. And he was telling me all about Captain Cook. And I was like, and oh, what about the chief and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, ooh, well. And so I had to explain to him like the Battle of Kuomo'o and then like just the progression of events. And I was like, oh, I'm glad I'm like kind of familiar with the history of, you know, what happened, at least the Kamehameha and Kalakaua line. Beyond that, I have to go back and read it. Why? Because that's early on. Even the book, The Ruling Chiefs, you've seen that giant book, yes? Everybody's seen that giant book, The Ruling Chiefs? Yes or no? Oh, you guys should read it. I think I'm like, maybe I've read like bits and pieces, but I think I'm over halfway done with it. And it's like, even that's not all correct because there's major missing parts, and there's major like misleading parts in there that were like brushed over from the Hawaiian version because it was translated by from the newspapers. So anyway, very interesting. What else would you have highlighted? Tehani, what else would you have did you highlight in this paragraph?
I highlighted all our searching because it was like, so I don't know if it was already said, but it said that when the drum is sounded, then everyone, like all Polynesians, will hear it no matter where they are, and they will become one people again. So it was like a group or like an Ohana effort to like figure out something as like as a group of people instead of like trying to do it yourself. And it also, like you said, like our kuleana, I thought of like, if not you, then who? You know?
Oh, let's go back to Halal Kupu Kupu days. Oh my gosh, do you remember that? Till this day, what the heck is her name? I'm drawing a blank. Her name is Kumu. She was my teacher partner. Maniole. Her first name is Kawi, Kumu Kawi. She said that. I had to go backwards. I had to go like, okay, her dad's name is blah, blah, blah. Her last name is blah, blah. Like, that's like, seriously, I'm having like kupuna hour. Like, it's like Target on a Tuesday morning. Like, anyway, she said that. Do you remember that, Tehani, when she said that in the morning for Pico? She was like, if not you, then who? If not now, then when? Right? And totally called every one of us out for the rest of our lives. Right? Very interesting. Okay, McKenna, go ahead and finish us up with these last two paragraphs. Thank you. All are searching.
Oh, wait, am I?
No, I
am
just
sorry?
only when.
Oh, okay. Only when a great many people are searching will the heart of the drum be found. There will be a great expectation, and people will be listening, not deaf as they have been. And there will be a great turmoil in the heavens, and a heaping of clouds and blazing lightning. And lightning will strike the mountain, and the drum will sound. And when the drum sounds, everyone who is Polynesian, whenever they may be in the world, will hear it and become one people again.
Boom. Right? That whole quote right there at the very end is just like, ah. And the lightning will strike the mountain. What mountain are we talking about? Right? And the drum will sound again, and people will become one again. Very interesting. This story was written in 1991. Juice box. Okay, 1991, right? Unreal. But it was written about what? In the 80s, right? That's where this story is taking place, in the 80s. Super interesting, you guys. Okay, so if you haven't already, right, I pointed out, I just took this part of the story, all right? And then on the bottom, it says, what is the point and purpose of reading the short story, The Seekers by Herb Kane? So, you know, yes, Lele?
So actually, never mind. I'll save it for there.
What did you say?
Never mind. I'll save it for there.
I didn't hear you because I'm having kupuna hour. What did you say?
Nothing. I said never mind. I'll save it for the end of the story.
Okay. So if you notice, I try to word the prompts the way I want you to restate it back to me. Okay, why? Why do I do it like this? Because first of all, I'm showing you, if it's a short story, it should be in quotation marks. Do you notice this, that I do that to you guys? I do it almost all the time to you guys, right? I say the title, author, genre, right? I do the tag to you guys so that you tell it back to me. Okay, so I'm being explicit in telling you how I want you to restate the topic sentence. Everybody clear on that? I'm pointing this out because this is you guys now writing your 5 body paragraphs, right? It's just really small CER paragraphs because that's what we're doing today. So that's what I'm trying to point out. Okay. Also, the question, going back to the question, is why do you think he wrote it for the next generation to read? How does this story relate to searching for information and knowledge for your research paper? And more importantly, for your foundational knowledge, right? So every once in a while, I will meet a student who says they're not interested in learning anything about the Hawaiian culture, or they feel forced to learn the Hawaiian culture. Okay. And as a kumu, my job is not to force you guys to learn that stuff, but give you opportunities to think about things in a different way. The other thing I want to say is that we're all on different paths, right? Some people are further up the mountain, if you want to speak metaphorically, right? And others are still gathering their belongings in order to go up to the mountain, right? So I just want to make it clear, like, I'm acknowledging that people are at different parts of the journey to finding the heart or the beat of the drum, okay? And wherever you are is all good, okay? So we're good on that, yes? Yeah. When I first started teaching at Kamehameha schools, that was my biggest apprehension about teaching at Kamehameha schools, was that I didn't know enough history. Like, I can teach English, no problem. I can teach you how to read and write, no problem. And think. But I wasn't really familiar. And I've been on this path for like this is my 4th year teaching here. And before that, I started learning about the Hokulea because they went on the worldwide voyage. So about like 5 or 6 years ago, I just started reading a whole bunch of things in order to learn. Because where I went to college, we didn't have, Hawaiian culture, Hawaiian history classes. Yeah. You guys know that I went to HPA. There was no Hawaiian history class. They did, but I didn't have to take it for some reason. It was a freshman class at HPA. Very interesting. And the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because the path that you guys are on to learn, like some of you guys are already like, way deep in like the hula arena, right? In whatever else it is, right? In even just knowing who you are as a person. Okay, so for this particular assignment for the seekers, right? Think about that as you guys answer these questions, okay? All right, so this is due, I set it for this Friday because I really want you to finish this so you guys can really focus on. So if you need to grab your planners just to write down, respond to the seekers by Friday, okay? So that you can kind of move on from there. Some of you guys already added, so you're good to go unless you want to add more to the response. Okay, but this is worth 20 points. So if you need to go back and reread some of it, then awesome. Okay, there's the link. I had to fix the link. I don't know why the link wasn't working at one point. Yeah, okay, so the link is now fixed. Okay, all right, let's move on. Everybody good on the seekers though? You guys can do this. Okay, all right. Next, let's go to the next part. So just go ahead and hit the next. Okay, so that's my bit emoji. Crazy part is I have that exact outfit. Everybody have a bit emoji? They're really cute. My mom's bit emoji does not look like her. I go, Mom, you don't have blonde hair. But in her head, I think she thinks she has blonde hair. I was like, Mom, you don't have blonde hair. I need to change that. Okay, so anyway, fun when moms try to make bit emojis. Okay, so we're gonna write our first draft. And I think just about every one of you guys finished your outline. Some of you guys did way more than you needed to. And yes, I'm looking at you. Remember that these are just notes, right? Because you might change. You might put something in a different place later as the flow of your paper starts to become real, okay? Starts to be alive. Yes, Tehani, did you?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask if it is okay if we might change things around later.
It's a plan, right? If you've ever seen a house being built, or like you look at an HPM plan and then you want to move the living room on the other side because you know the sun, like it's just a plan. Okay. All right. So let me just tell you guys, writing the first draft. Okay. You guys have your tablets. Okay, we're gonna do some handwriting right now. In cursive, just joking. Do you guys, anybody write in cursive? Anybody can write in cursive? You guys are like, what is that? Calligraphy? No. Really? None of you guys know how to write? Do you know how to sign your name? Oh my goodness, you guys. Okay. Oh, very good, Kailoa. Love it. Okay. You got to learn how to sign your name because, you know, when you got to sign for, you know, groceries, you got to like make it fancy. I don't want people copying you. Okay. I don't know if they check it, but whatever. All right. So we have our topic, right? So if you guys look, we're going to do this all together. So go ahead, write down your topic. Just write topic and then write down whatever the topic is. We're going to do this exercise because this is going to ensure that you have your thesis statement down. Okay. Yay. Hi, Kailoa. How are you? Let's wave. Okay. All right, everybody wrote down their topic. Okay, so if you guys look at the module where it says writing the first draft. So the example is, okay, if I chose clean water, my bit emoji is pointing to the question. Now you want to change it into a question. So what I did was I said, how can we ensure clean water for our future, right? What is the point of your topic? So turn that into a question. Go ahead. What is the whole point in researching your topic? That's going to be your question. Try. Oh no, did we lose Kailoa? Oh. Hello. It's me. Hello from the other side. Kailoa, are you here? Anybody saw the Adele skits on SNL? It was so good. Saturday Night Live. You guys are like, old people watch that. Okay, whatever. Never mind. I realize you guys are like 14 or 15 years old. It's fine. Anybody 15? Oh, hey. Oh, you're going to drive soon. I bet you're learning already.
No, my birthday was on Saturday.
Oh, very good. What do you choose for your birthday dinner?
That's a good question. I chose teppanyaki and crab.
Okay. You expensive date. Okay. Wow. Not just spaghetti or chili and rice. It's like teppanyaki and what? Crab.
And crab. Well, like, it wasn't my idea. I just agreed.
sweet. Dang. What do you guys choose for your birthday dinner? McKenna, what do you choose? Steak? You're like, I'm vegetarian. No, I don't know. Are
I
you?
just Kahlua nachos.
Oh, I just love it when the sour cream mixes with the salsa. Malie, you just gave me the look. What is yours? What's your birthday selection for dinner?
Did I give you the look?
Yeah, you went.
Oh, sorry. I was like stretching. My birthday's coming up, but I don't know. We were gonna do teppanyaki at my grandma's house.
Oh, is that like barayaki? Like where you put the butter on the grill and you just grill whatever, and it's like a total like, you better not have COVID. Just joking. That was too soon. That was too soon. I realized that I am videoing this session. Oh my gosh. Never mind. Okay. Well, Kale, what is your birthday dinner selection?
It's always chili nachos.
Oh, with the soupy cheese, the cheese that comes with, oh my gosh. At school, that's my favorite lunch. I go get it. Even if I forget and I bring lunch, I leave my lunch in the refrigerator and I go and get that cheese, and it gives me the most sore stomach I've ever had, but I don't care. Same thing. If I see tater tots, I'm going. You're going to see me in that line. Big fan. Lele, what's your meal?
Probably like sushi.
Ooh, what kind?
I don't know.
We're taking a brain break, by the way.
I don't know. Just like,
Any of it, all of it.
yeah. I don't
Oh.
like those kind of.
If I could just eat shrimp one more time, I would. I love that, like that mixture of that shrimp tempura with the like avocado mixture with the inside out sushi. I don't know what you call it. Okay, Kailoa, what about you? What's your favorite? What is your birthday meal?
I don't really have.
You don't have one? It's okay. You could be like Tehani and somebody will choose it for you and you just say, okay. All right. Okay, do we have our questions? Okay, can we quickly go around and share out our questions? Let's start with Tehani.
How can we prioritize the use and consumption of renewable energy?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, McKenna, go ahead.
When will we all come together and see the main problem that our future generation is being will be broken down if we can't fix our coral bleaching today?
Oh my gosh, you guys, it's like I'm on The Voice and I turned my chair because I heard somebody like, I don't know if you guys are watching The Voice, but the lady that sung Unbreak My Heart at the very end on Monday night, you got to look at that. Go on Instagram and find The Voice on NBC. You got to watch it. It is crazy. You guys are so good. Malay, what's yours? What's your question?
What is an environmentally friendly thing we can do to keep a sustainable food source? I feel like it's too long, so I made two. One
Oh,
with,
shoot. Two. Okay, what's your other version?
the other one, it just doesn't have the environmentally friendly part.
Okay. It sounds like you're still working on it, which is
Yeah.
fine. Okay, we can maybe work on that a little bit. Okay, well, Kale, what's yours?
How can we reduce wasting in Hawaii?
Are you talking about the trash still?
Yeah,
Okay.
or like
Yeah, that's just your starting point. So don't worry. I know you want to ask a better question and you're kind of like wanting to break up with that question. because you know you want to make it sound better. So it's okay, right? Everybody's thought process is different, and we're going to embrace everybody's differences. Okay, so you just keep working on that. Lele, what about you?
My thesis statement in a question form. Is that what we're hearing?
Yeah.
Okay, so mine is, why is food sustainability in Hawaii so important, and what are some ways to combat this growing issue?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, very good. That's good. So I understand. Some of you guys can totally just think on your feet. That's awesome. Okay, and some of you guys need to make several drafts. Okay, so at least we have something. The thesis statement is the question you're answering. Everybody clear? That's what's going to be your thesis. So if you guys look at my example, I say clean water can be ensured for our future through our collective efforts in how we treat the land. Boom, right? You know I'm going to talk about clean water, and you know I'm going to talk about the approaches of our community to solve those problems. Okay, I might have to put the word community instead of collective efforts, but I think the word collective efforts that came from the seekers is actually really a powerful term, if that makes sense. Okay, so what I want you to do now is answer that question. Make sense? Answer the question you just created. Did I turn into a robot, or you guys understand what I mean? Okay. Okay, how you guys doing? Did you answer your question?
Wait, what's going on right now? Sorry, my screen froze and I don't know what we're doing.
Oh, you're answering your question now. Tehani, how you doing? Are you Paul?
So like, we're doing.
You're answering the question that you came up with just in one sentence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking like the whole.
No, because that's the introduction, right? So what you're potentially doing is like starting with the hook with your question, and then your thesis is the response to the question. Or this question could be part of your conclusion, right? Because then you could say, so my question to you guys, right? And then this is the call to action at the very end, right? Is the how can you ensure clean water for your future? Or I don't know, somebody used the word prioritize. Who was that? McKenna? Oh, was that you, Tehani? Okay, like the word prioritize is a very inviting word because it's not like you can do everything all at once. And I think that's a really smart approach How do you prioritize the needs of, you know, your environment in order to make things happen, right? Or move into the right direction? Like, that is an incredible word. I don't know how you came up with the word prioritize, but that is a good one. Yay, you. Oh, okay. Yeah, I raised the roof. Okay, I brought back the 90s. We just raised the roof. Yeah. Yeah. You guys are like, I wasn't even born in the 90s. Holy smokes, you were born in the 90s. 2005? Oh. You guys know I've been teaching for 20 years, right? Oh my gosh. I just realized maybe I should prioritize my life. Okay. How's it going? You guys good? Everybody have your question answered in one powerful statement. McKenna, how you doing? How's you doing, girl?
I thought I didn't know that we had to do it into one sentence, so I'm trying to like put all my thoughts into this one sentence.
Oh, you'll do that later in your body paragraphs. That's what the body paragraphs are for, right? So when you look at your introduction is just going to say, this is what I'm proving, right? So that's why it's one, and you don't have to like back up anything you're saying in the introduction, because that's going to come later in your body paragraphs. Okay. But you got something. Everybody has a response, because that's going to be your thesis. Okay. Lele, you good? Because you had like a 2-part question, which is great. Okay, and Lele, Uakea, how are you? You doing better?
Yeah, I was I wasn't really looking for an answer. I was trying to find a better question.
Right. You're doing fine. Okay, because I'm gonna move on. So I'm on I'm at the bottom where it says tips on writing your first draft. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm taking the pressure off of you guys. You have your plan, you know what you're trying to answer. Okay, so I'm going to take the pressure off of you guys. No pressure. Okay, and these are the 3 tips that I'm giving you as Makana to start your journey of this 7-paragraph essay. Here we go. First tip, follow your outline, but make adjustments when you need to. Yay, right? So that was that question, right? Can we change up our outline? Yes, please do. That's just your initial organization. 2, don't get bogged down on saying it perfectly. Okay, that means you. Just write it down. We will revise it later, okay? Just get your thoughts down. So just type like crazy. Even if you use crappy words, we're going to revise using the thesaurus, and it's going to be all good. We good on that? Nod like crazy. Bob your head, y'all. Okay, thank you. Last but not least, I want you guys to return to your thesis statement, okay? And that would be the question you just answered. Return back every so often to just double check. Am I on point, or am I going off-roading a little, okay? Just make sure that you're not 4-wheel driving off the path, okay? Stay on the path. Okay, that's all I need to talk about for that first draft. Let's go ahead and hit the next button. This is where you're going to submit your first draft of your research paper. Okay, everybody got it? So we're going to use the MLA report template in Google Docs. So we're going to do this all together. Everybody ready? I need somebody to share their screen so that we can all copy this one person. We're going to copy people today. Okay, so Malia, go ahead and share your screen. Pull up the just go into Google Docs and then we'll walk everybody through this.
Just create a regular Google plain doc.
Just get into Google Docs for right now and then we'll show everybody what to do.
Okay.
Okay. Where did Kailoa go? We lost him. I don't want to scare him, you know? There's a lot of like female juju in our class, and that poor boy, he has to balance all of us out.
My Google Drive isn't loading.
Oh, I guess you don't have to do your work then. Okay. All right, McKenna, could you help us go ahead and get into? Everybody should get into Google Docs right now. Okay, just the first part, just that. Okay, now I think I've showed you guys this before, but find MLA report and just click on it, the template. Boom. Okay, and let's do the first things first. Go up to report and write down first draft. Yep, perfect. Okay, and then let's start plugging away. Let's start with the header, which is like, go ahead and double click by the number 1. Okay, put the cursor on the left-hand side, type your last name. So everybody should be doing the same thing. Let's follow. We're being copycats. Today it's fine. Okay, very good. Thank you for putting your Okina in there. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, now put in your name. First and last, everybody's doing, right? Everybody's following. The pressure of typing correctly. Yeah. Oh, hate it. Yeah. Okay, my name, Miss Kabatu. Period. MS. Period. Boom. Okay. English 9. And then today is October 28th. I was asked, what was I going to do for Halloween? I said, pretend not to be home. Okay. Oh, wait. Let's go back. Everybody's date should be day, month, year. No commas. Okay. What I'm doing is I'm saving myself some white hairs here because everybody should have it this way. Then I don't have to correct it later. Okay. This should be automatic every single time. All right. Now for the title, just for right now, come up with just a rough draft version of your title. And please don't say research paper. It should be something, you know, intriguing, profound, right? Maybe you use some kind of term from the Seekers or something, okay? Something. But not my 9th grade research paper, please. Yep, I'm pretty sure Tehani's writing. If not you, then who? Oh! Okay. That is my, very good. Okay, now delete all this stuff underneath. Don't forget to capitalize the S, the W, and the C after. Very good. Okay, now, okay, so you should have, McKenna, let's see if you can put your outline now and your paper side by side. You know how to do that? Split your screens. Okay. Oh, yes. Where did your outline go? Oh, I wonder if I can. Where's your outline?
I split screen my stuff.
Oh, maybe we can't see it.
Oh,
Oh, interesting. Okay, everybody have. You can stop sharing your screen now. It's fine. Everybody have your outline and your first draft like this, side by side, on your screen. Okay, very good. I'm gonna close class so you guys can start typing like crazy. How's that? Okay. I'm gonna close class by sharing my screen with you so that we can make sure that we're all on the same page. No pun intended. Okay, you see this, right? We're in the modules. Where's the MLA formatting stuffs that I showed you? Ooh, right here. Okay. So this is actually in your slides or even right here. Okay, so this is the MLA formatting. What I really want to point out, okay, and we just did this first part all together. So you guys are good to go. You just type. Is the second one. Okay. So I need you guys to remember, because I didn't see it in most of your outlines, was the who are you giving credit to, right? The in-text citation. So you need to have it's called a lead in, right? So where is that? On the very bottom, okay, do you see that where it says, how do I integrate my quotations? Everybody see where I'm pointing at? Okay. It says you don't want to leave your quotations hanging. Ideally, you want to integrate your quotations into your sentence with signal phrases, also known as lead-ins. Phrases which introduces your quotation, right? So what does that look like, right? You have these like phrases that say, hey, I'm going to use a direct quote, right? So you want to say something like according to, or as stated by blah, 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 right? But we don't want to use the S words, stated, says, or said. What we want to do is, you see on the right-hand side, use that list of verbs to help you, right? Suggests, implies, declares, especially if you have like an expert in the field declaring something, okay? Do that. Affirms, argues, right? It establishes the credibility of the person you're bringing in to back you up. Okay. Any questions? Okay. I really wouldn't worry right now about like transitions or anything like that, but you can put in like really lame transitions just so that you have them in there as placeholders, so that when you go back to revise, you can add those in there. Okay, so I mean, even if you just start with first, second, third, okay, is all good, because you're gonna go back and go, oh, that's like cringy. So you're gonna go back and say, right, without mentioning blah blah blah, right, or to further drive home the point of blah blah blah, right? You're gonna have higher level transitions, okay, or as proven in the direct quote, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so all good. I'm giving you guys like a solid like 15 minutes to hopefully get like 2 or 3 paragraphs just typed out, ready to go, okay? Other than that, follow your outlines. And then if you need to, go back and research some more. So this is the other thing, right? With researching and research paper writing, is that sometimes you gotta circle back around, okay? It's like you're on the quad and you miss something and you gotta go back around, okay? Like you're missing information for blah, blah, blah. You gotta go back around, right? And so what I did was in the announcements, if you guys saw, I gave you guys specific websites, right? The Hawaii County and the Hawaii State websites, because that's gonna lead you to information that deals with what is our community doing to currently solve the problems, right? And it's also going to identify what are the current problems in the community. So that should help you guys tremendously. Additionally, or finally, when you look up your topic and then add in like Hawaii Tribune Herald or Star Advertiser, what happens is the articles, the newspaper articles related specifically to Hawaii pops up. Okay, and that should also bring you to more statistics. Okay. We will be working on our works cited page. So that's why you needed to gather where you got the sources, right, of information from. Okay. I'm going to stop talking now because it's almost 9 o'clock and class finishes at 9:15. And I really would like you guys to get, 2 or 3 paragraphs done if you can. All right. You still have Membean, and then you have to finish the seekers if you didn't finish that. Seekers are due on Friday. Okay. Questions? If anything, we can meet tomorrow if you need to. So just email me if you need. Okay. Okay, you guys, kick some butt, not your own. Okay. Bye.